I have been training consistently for the past 4 years, and I wanted to show you the 5 things that you need to consider before starting any type of exercise. So let's get to number 1. So the first thing is to have a clear thought of what your schedule is and how it looks like. And why do I say that? Because having a schedule is way more effective for you to have a better and clear mind of what you're gonna do during the day. If you are just hovering throughout the day, sometimes you have an unprecedented plan from one day to another that clearly shows that you don't have a routine, that you don't have a plan to go to the gym. You just go whenever you feel like it, which is another thing that maybe you are not very consistent with it. So when you want to have more consistency at the gym, it's important that you also have a clear schedule depending on what goal you're gonna do. So make sure to follow these steps right now. And the number 1 is go to your app store and download any type of calendar out there, or if you have already Google Calendar or Apple Calendar but you never use it, I think this is the best way for you to actually see when you have your classes, or if you work a job, when you're gonna go to the home, when you eat your meals. So in that way, you schedule out at least 1 to 2 hours a day for your exercise. But before that, it's very important that you follow these steps, and actually then we go to number 2, which is to find a proper routine. Because we are gonna talk about later about the different goals we're gonna have in our routine. But building your own routine is crucial so you can have a way more consistency, that you always clear the tasks and make them whenever possible and whenever you're gonna start making exercise. For example, if you have a routine when you do 4 times a week your cardio sessions at the afternoon, then you already know when you're gonna do it. No matter if you work, no matter if you have other plans, if you schedule out that specific amount of time when you're gonna go work out, I think it's the best way for you to always be more consistent and don't miss any type of session. Now, building a proper routine also is gonna be fun because you're gonna use Google Calendar, as I showed you later. But as well, you need to build a proper routine by following one of the best bodybuilders advice out there. I recommend that you watch Jeff Nipper's videos, Jeremy Ethier, and of course Mike Ursertel, which already have shown you how to build a proper routine just for you. Because you can be rather a beginner, you can be rather an intermediate like me, or an advanced trainee that want to change things up, or just want to change the way they train. As well as you can either train for specific goals, which we're gonna talk now, which is the number 3, and it's to have a clear goal. I'm gonna say something that I have thought for so many years, and it's that some people just go to the gym just to lift weights. Oh, I went to the gym. That's great. You exercise, you do your thing. But the problem with that is that you don't have a clear goal. You don't have a clear thing you're gonna do for the next 12, 16, 20 weeks. What happens if you're very skinny and then you can build more muscle? Then try to do everything possible so that you can fit to that goal. Rather, if you have some pounds to lose, then it's way better for you to do a fat loss routine. So again, have a clear goal, because when you have a clear goal, this way you're gonna actually properly build a routine that's the best for your specific goal. Even outside fat loss or building muscle, it can be anything. If you want to sprint more faster, if you want to play soccer better, if you want to play basketball better, if you want to run a marathon, you have a lot of options, but you have to have a clear goal. I'm not saying that you should focus solely on one. In my example, I have been focusing on building muscle and losing fat at the same time right now. But I have also tried to focus on a goal of elevating my aerobic training, running more, and also doing it without any pain, which is 3 very good goals that I set to myself on the past 2 months or 3 months ago. And you should do that as well. So always try to find help, which is the number 4. Find help if necessary. If you need a personal training, which you can check the link down below in the description, because most of the time we're not gonna be alone on this journey. We will need some sort of help. I'm not telling you that you need a personal trainer and waste a lot of money on it. Neither you need a nutritionist. But because we have so many information now with the internet, thanks to the internet, it's the best way for us to find information based on what we want and what is best for us. If you want to lose fat, then there's gonna be a lot of videos on YouTube, on the internet, on TikTok, but you should always consider to find a reliable source. So again, if you need help, try to ask people who have already done it. Try to go to Facebook groups, or in your gym, try to ask a guy that has already been consistently training. It's always good to ask who are the ones who have trained consistently. As well as if you have the goal of losing fat, which are the best foods that you can eat that you can stay more fuller for longer and don't have hunger throughout the day. Because if you, for example, eat all of processed foods or a lot of foods that are high in sugar, it's going to be way easier for you to overeat those calories, right? So not only finding help, but educating yourself in what you're going to do. No matter in what, in anything in life, if you're going to do something, it's always better to educate yourself. It's for going before an interview, try to see what or who is the person that you're going to interview, right? What he works in, what's his life, what his background. The same is for when you're going to train. How do you build muscle? What's the best way to build muscle? What are the best foods to eat? How many protein do I need? You always have to find that help alone or with someone else, because if you do it everything by your own, if you don't know what you're doing, if you just go and try to do it yourself, it's going to be way harder for you, and it's going to take even more time for you to figure out what's the best for you, right? So that's a very important one, because sometimes it have happened to me. I haven't searched for help and I have read the consequences of it. So always look for help, no matter if it's just a simple question at the gym. Always do this, because it's going to benefit you in the best way possible. Now, when I started lifting weights, I remember that the first 2 years I was slacking a lot and I had not the best results. Maybe a little bit of newbie gains here and there, but one of the problems I had is that I never dialed in with my nutrition. I thought I was eating healthy. I thought I was eating the right foods. I thought I was eating the amount of calories, but I didn't track my calories. I didn't even eat the right amount of vegetables and fruits. I remember that after school, we went to this little to-go store where they sell a lot of candy bars, a lot of bad stuff, and I always finished eating the chocolate bar or eating some bad foods, and then I have acne in my face, and then I didn't lose any weight. I looked a bit way more chubbier than I am now, because now I have been training consistently and I have known how to have a better body composition throughout the years. But back then, I didn't dial in with my nutrition. I didn't do the right stuff like most of us. Yes, I was young. It's okay. But the sooner you take this seriously, especially your nutrition, is gonna be the best thing, because your nutrition, it's what mostly gives you your results. You can do all the exercise you want, but if you're not in a caloric deficit, if you want to lose fat, if that's your goal, as well, if you want to build muscle, then that's another thing, right? But if you want to lose fat, but if you're not eating in a caloric deficit, no matter what type of diet you do, you're not going to lose weight. Also, if you do a lot of exercise, but you're not eating in a caloric deficit, you're not going to lose weight, right? So one of the things that I will do before doing any type of exercise is dialing my nutrition, because if you're gonna practice for a marathon, let's say, which you're gonna burn a lot of calories, then you're gonna need way more calories in a day just to compensate and to recover and to give the proper nutrients to your body. Because if you're gonna run every day for 5 kilometers or more, your body is gonna need more calories. Your body is gonna need that fuel to keep up with what activity you're doing. So it's very important to always look information as well. Know the thermodynamics of your body. Know if you have a medical condition, because sometimes if we eat certain stuff, we are allergic to it, or a pimple appears in your face. Like me, if I eat a lot of lactose products, I start getting acne. So it's experimentation. Again, try to look for a diet or a meal plan. If you need a nutritionist, she or he may help you with that more easily. And you can see what foods are best for you, which foods can you tolerate more or tolerate less, you see. Because once again, if you do this alone, it's going to be way harder for you. But if you have the help of people who already know, like me or like other YouTubers and influencers in social media that have the credibility, then it's going to be way easier for you to build the proper routine for you, right? So once again, I think that these 5 things are very important for you to do, because if you just sway around and do your thing and do whatever you think is the best for you, you're not going to get anywhere. Because sometimes we need to actually do some steps before, and we need to prepare ourselves before doing anything, especially in fitness. Because maybe we get injured the first time we do it, because we don't knew that, oh, if I hyperextend my knee in the leg press, I may injure myself, right? So take those things into consideration. If this video was helpful for you, once again, Check down below in the description for my personal training as well as my other social media. And guys and girls, if I helped you, see y'all in the next video next week.